Be proud of your struggles. Not everyone knows them. But seeking pleasure in your pride is a trap for ego. Hey, what's up people? This is Bijan and welcome to my channel WhizMonk. What is ego? Is it really bad? Ego is simply your opinion about yourself, your abilities and your importance. It makes you aware of who you really are. The moment you get stuck at I, my dear friend, you have invited false ego. Ego is the biggest enemy of our life. You will really never know the true impact of it if you consistently keep feeding your ego. Make sense? Frank Abagnale Jr. is the perfect example. All his life engulfed by his ego. He used his skills as a con man. It is only after his realization during his jail time. After his release, he used his same skills as a security consultant in FBI to live an honest life. Today, I'm going to whiz away your mind on how to overcome your false ego. And people who are new here, consider subscribing as this channel provides an insight to a buzzingly WhizFul life. And I always bring a special WhizFul tip in the end. So, stay tuned. First, let's look at what ego does to us. Ego makes you a liar. Ego and vanity, they are the best friends. There is nothing wrong in grooming oneself, but continuous attention seeking can make your persona slip into your reality. You project a version of yourself which you are not. Ego fuels arrogance. Success inside the head finds different ways to differentiate and demand respect, even when people are equal. Egocentric people are always passing judgment on how they are better than others and take pride in it. Ego is selfish. Egocentric people always take decisions based on only their needs. If it is feasible for them, they think it's the best for everyone. This type of people lack empathy and fail to pay attention to the needs of the people around them. By the way, if you really know anyone, just type yes in the comment section below. But don't write the name. Let me know how many people you are actually encountering in your everyday life. Ego makes you a false celebrity. Your pride in your head makes you think that everyone is continuously noticing you and talking about you. In reality, they may be casually conversing and have not noticed you at all. Egocentric people are always concerned about what people are thinking about them. Now let me help you overcome your ego and turn your life around. Egocentric people always want their opinion to be validated. They think they know everything, want everyone to like them, and can prove their point. On the other hand, people with self-esteem want to learn from others, are okay being vulnerable, and can respect themselves and also others. Choose what you compare with. When you compare yourself to others, you boost your ego. But when you try to improve yourself, you build your confidence. Confidence comes when you break your weakness into small achievable goals. Your small achievements will pave your path of confidence. Take feedback for your actions, and most importantly, take it from people who have required experience and not from any Tom, Dick or Harry. For instance, I am creating YouTube videos, right? So I should be taking feedback from those people who are also video creators and not from any other, you know what I mean, right? Always remember, ego repels. Your true pride is your gratitude. Whatever you learn in life is because someone chose to teach you, or even if you self-taught yourself, it is because you did not know but needed it. You are never born with knowledge, right? Now, either you can use your knowledge for better purposes, or you can use it to fuel your arrogance. It's absolutely perfect if you are not best all the time. Respect comes when you acknowledge your mistake and move forward. Never try to pretend that you know everything. People are smart enough to understand these days. So, don't try to make a fool of yourself. Try this and I promise it will help you. When someone compliments you, show gratitude without talking about your labor. When someone argues with you, wait to respond. Take the time to see others' perspective. When you discuss, remember, it's not always about you. Be curious and listen to understand. Sometimes it may be difficult to ignore unacceptable behavior completely. But the real test is how you hold your ego from resurfacing. Try to be an observer rather than a reactor. If it is not significant, you can simply ignore it. Remember, everything is not always about you. Two things matter the most. Remind yourself of the good things people have done for you and the bad things you have done to people. Strange, right? Yes, this is a reality check for who you really are. The good deeds people have done for us remind us to be humble and feel gratitude. The bad we have done to them reminds us of our incapabilities. So, now you see what you are capable of and what are your inadequacies. Simultaneously, you also need to forget the opposite. Forget how you have helped people and if you have not received any help in return from them. If you don't do this, you are simply going to harbor negative feelings that will feed your ego. We only miss the light when it gets dark. Extend help when you have the right resources. Thinking only we can, our ego can drive us to help others. And when people don't act upon our advice, we start complaining, don't we? And I have already told about this in one of my previous videos on how to overcome negativity. I will leave the link in the description below. You may watch it after this video. Your help for others should be resource driven and not ego driven. Success or failure should never determine who you really are. Whatever happens should simply remind you who you are and who you could have become if the right help didn't come your way. It is useless to feel small compared to others. Rather, compare yourself to your goals. Like Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. Your achievements should not stop you from aspiring greater things in life. The minute you feel accomplished, start chasing your new goals. This way, you will always set personal standards for higher growth and improve yourself. Never buy into your own hype. I have done everything on my own. I have struggled and nobody has helped me. Remember, it is your first step to downfall. And the much awaited, the WhizFul tip. My dear friends, we all have ego. And believe me, it is not that bad. And Sigmund Freud correctly pointed out the three dimensions of ego in our personality: the id, ego, and superego. Your desires is your id, your moral police is your superego, and the referee is your ego. Knowing how to balance the conflict between your selfish desires, that is it, and your morality, that is your superego, is the fuel for your ego. Understand one thing, there is a thin line of difference between your false ego and self-esteem. Self-esteem is a balance between what I feel and what others feel, whereas False ego is I, me, and only myself. See this difference to choose a change. The elixir to false ego is humility. Do you know someone who has false ego? Hit the comment section below and write whatever comes to your mind. I am eagerly waiting to interact with you all. Stay tuned for interesting tips and tricks for that buzzingly blissful life which I promised you. So, until next time, adios amigos, signing off your WhizMonk.